The light is so great today that I needed to show you how I build my face, which is a really weird term I use. But what I'm trying to say is, when your face is flat, when I put foundation on like I have, and I've got my concealer and it's all powdered and set, my face becomes a blank canvas, because what I've essentially done is completely wiped out any definition and any colour or high colour that I don't want, or any spots or whatever, with my foundation. Now, if you watch all my videos, you know I don't really wear foundation all over my face, but I wear enough of it to feel like I need definition, I need brightness, I need shadow, I need colour putting back into it once it's done. And that's exactly the same thing as when I do my clients, when I do a presenter, I make their face very matte and it's got lots of foundation in it because they're on TV, they can't shine, they need to look perfect. But then I need to build in that natural colour again. The biggest thing that I've noticed in the past few years is that people are talking about contour all the time. I just don't think you need to waste your time doing two separate stages, doing contour and a bronzer, and I don't think you need to spend money on two different products. If you buy a matte bronzer, that could easily be used as a contour, which is what I do and what I've always done. I use Hoola by Benefit. I've used it for years. Hate the packaging, it's really bulky. You can pop the pan out. But it lives in my bedroom, I don't take it anywhere really anyway. If I do need to travel with a bronzer, I normally take the Hoola stick with me, which you can see in my travel videos, or I find mini versions of things and it's fine. So anyway, that's the bronzer I use. The reason I use it is because it's a really warm tan and it gives me the darkness that I want on my face, but it has no shimmer. And the whole point of contouring is that you're not putting shimmery colours into the cheekbone, into the jawline, into the temple. You want shimmer just to be dedicated to the areas you want to lift: high cheekbone, nose, cupid's bow. So you're trying to push away the light, you make darkness and shadow in the areas that I want to sort of fake a shadow to look like they're more concave, but I want to push the light away using highlighter and shimmer at the later point. So if you were to get a bronzer that has shimmer with it and now do this contouring tutorial that I'm about to do, it's the wrong thing. Stick with one matte bronzer. Anyway, let's go in. I'm using this little brush by Limelight by Alconi. It's just my travel brush that I keep in my makeup bag. So I'm going to go in and build that bronzer into my cheekbone now. My cheekbone ends, I can feel it here. I'm pushing into that dent. It's normally the inner ear to the corner of the mouth. So I'm just going to work that colour into that cheekbone there. I mean, I think people can probably argue with me, and you know, they can rightly argue with me. I'm taking it up into my temples now, anywhere where the sun is going to hit. So my forehead is obviously the most predominant area that's going to reach the light of the sun more. So I'm going to pop that onto my forehead. But yes, you can contour to your heart's desire. You can do your nose, you can do your cheeks, you can use the sticks, you can use the concealers, you can do all the Kardashian shit. I'm just saying most people aren't going to do that when they're going to work. They just need to get a little bit of definition into their face, build their face a little bit, and this is perfectly adequate. So I'm going to take that down underneath my jawline onto my neck. And the reason I do my neck, and I don't go back into the pot, I just kind of use the dip in once and then just blend it around, is because my neck is always so much whiter. Because obviously this is hairy, I sit in the sun, and I do wear Factor 50 every day, or I've got foundation on and layers, but my face is always, my neck is always lighter. So now I'm going to put up a bit in there, take a little bit on the sides of my nose. Don't know why I do that, that's just a habit, hopefully making it look a little bit slimmer. And you can see already that I've kind of built in that shade. Now it is very bright where I'm making this video, so I guess it's hard to see, but it's already sort of kind of tricking the eye and thinking, oh, she's got a nice concave cheekbone there. So anyway, that's my bronzer, and that's how I kind of build in the shape of my face. Then I want my face to have some glow and some pop. So it's your bronzer, blusher. My blush is by e.l.f. It is called Always Preppy. A primer infused shimmer blush. So this has got a little bit of a reflecting shimmer into it. I don't know whether you can see that, you can't. I would never really recommend a shimmery blusher for anyone who has any kind of acne, lines, any problems with their skin, because all the shimmer does is highlight those bumps and lumps. This is a really fine one, so it's actually, you can really get away with it. And I'm just putting that onto the apples of my cheeks with the same brush. I'm not even changing, there's hardly anything left on it. And I'm really working that into those apples and then lifting away. I see some people doing blush up on their brow, up high on their cheekbone into their eye socket. I see people putting blush into their concave area of their jawline. Just keep it to where you flush naturally. When you flush and when you smile, these are the areas that raise. These are the bits that create an embarrassed flush. That's where you want your blusher to be. So that's my blusher. Now I'm gonna get some highlighter. I absolutely love highlighter. I'm not gonna go with a really strong shimmery one. I'm just gonna use my Hollywood Flawless filter. Now this is kind of a foundation that you can mix in as a base layer to your foundation or mix in with your foundation. I'm just gonna pop a little bit onto the top of my cheekbones. So highlighter should always be where the sun is hitting and you want to create that glow. So top of my cheekbones, put a tiny bit on my nose. I think really people should avoid the nose and absolutely never put any highlighter onto the tip. It looks bloody ridiculous. And I'm not just saying that because I'm 35. Am I 35? Yeah, I'm 35. It just looks daft. It's just not natural. And all right, if you don't want to be natural, then do whatever you want. I don't really care. But none of this is natural, is it? So what am I talking about? A bit on my Cupid's bow. I'm actually going to take that up onto my brow bone as well. I mean, this is just an extra thing that really you absolutely don't need to do, but I wouldn't feel like me without it. I think those three things, by having the shadow, the flush and the highlight on that cheekbone, it just builds your face into the prettiest shape. And I like my cheekbones. I like the shape of my face. I like my skin most of the time. And why would I not see how that's made that instant difference? Why would I not want to make that pop out? It just looks so glowy and natural and healthy. If you're in your 50s, your 60s, if you're doing someone's makeup for a wedding, you're doing the mother of the bride, if you're doing a client, whatever, who don't want shimmer and don't want to have any excessive glitter, because this is just a fine glitter on their face, which would be anyone with lines, anyone with acne, just use a balm. Just use some kind of, you can either use a silicone prep mix from MAC, you could use a lip gloss, a clear lip gloss, Vaseline at a push, any kind of pore cream. I'm going to use the Trilogy Everything Balm. It's what I've got on my lips at the moment. It's what I put on my elbows, my knees. It's just my everything balm. And I'm going to take a little bit and I would put that in exactly the same areas. I'd put it high up onto my cheekbones. Oh, the sun's gone in a bit, which helps probably you see things a little bit better. Just so I'm really hitting that hard area before my socket bangs in there. I could put that up onto the brow bone, onto the lips, on a little bit higher onto the Cupid bow. Maybe I wouldn't put it onto the nose if it was just a clear shine or a lip gloss, because that could look a little bit wet and shiny. But that's kind of a good trick if you want to have that fake kind of glow of a highlighter, but you don't want the shimmer, or the person you're doing makeup on doesn't want a shimmer. And that's it, that's your lot. Go for a walk now. Happy lockdown, people.